Hello and welcome to Pastor Billy Joe Hillbilly's Tidbits, episode 24. This will be my final video of the day. Not my final video, or at least it's not the plan. My hope is to continue. I guess we'll see what happens. This will be the second video that I've recorded today that is really more personal than I really feel comfortable in sharing. So it's the second video in that, and that I'm going to talk about things that are more personal, and that I think there are lessons to be learned. I think it's important for me to get these things off my chest, so to speak. It's important for me to say what's on my mind, because it does have some, there may be some lessons tucked away in here somewhere. But at least for the moment, I'm probably going to leave this video private, like the other one. And at some point in time, I'm sure I will make them public. But I just don't know when that will happen to be. I don't know when that will happen. Anyway, so long and short of it is, I screwed up. Wow, shock. I mean, honestly, if you knew me, you'd know that's my middle name. Screwed up. Actually, it's Joe. Actually, it's not. Either way. So, anyway, I screwed up. And I'm not going to go into any details. I'm not even going to use any names. So it's not like this is... I mean, the people who are involved in all of this would know that, that I'm, they'll know who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say any names, or even really give you any details. Sorry, I know you were dying to hear all the juicy gossip. Let's just say I screwed up, and then things fell apart. It's kind of when I started going back to church. Things kind of fell apart, and I've hurt feelings. I have hurt the feelings of others, but I also have feelings, hurt feelings myself. As is the nature of things when you screw up and you say something stupid, and well, like I said, I'm not going to go into detail. Let's just say that I hurt some people that mean the present tense, that mean a lot to me. And I went round and round and round on how to make things right. And, finally I decided to write a couple of letters. So I wrote these letters and got up the courage to call one of the individuals involved and say, I've got something I want to give you. So I met this individual and gave him the letters and said, okay, this one, I want these individuals to read, and this one I want you to read, but it's really for these individuals. God, this would be easier if I just spilled the beans and just wouldn't use names, but I should at least give details. But Not yet. Someday maybe. But anyway, so I said, here are a couple of letters. Please read them both, and then share the second one with the appropriate individuals. And of course, when I met this individual, he was like, I've been meaning to, check on you and see how you were doing and, whatever. And I'm thinking, then why didn't you? I mean, I was meaning to call you. I was meaning to touch base with you. I was meaning to see how you were doing. Dear, precious God, a text takes 30 seconds out of your day. Is it that difficult when you have the person's number to say, just wanted you to know I was thinking about you. Hope you're okay. I love you. Well, I was meaning to talk to you. Well, you didn't. That already tells me something, that maybe you really don't care in the first place. But whatever. So I leave. Let it go. And there's a couple of texts, back and forth and all that. And it really sort of ends with, all right, well, we'll pray about it. And I replied, and I don't think I was being hateful. I don't think I was being ugly. I just kind of said, well, God can, soften hearts that have been hardened, but I don't think we should expect him to do everything for us. And that was the end of it. There was no reply. I don't see anything improving. I don't think there's any chance, because now this whole, we'll let God sort it out. We'll just leave it to God. I have no doubt, people, that God can help us and does help us, that he loves us, and that he can help us out when we're in situations that we're just kind of stuck. But God's not going to force somebody to do something against their will. God's not going to, have someone, would he? I mean, for the people I've heard, are they just going to be driving along one day and be like, I have to go over to see Pastor Hillbilly, warp it in, wreck, cause all sorts of, just all of a sudden, they didn't even, maybe sometimes it works that way. Maybe it does. I really don't. I just don't see it. I don't know. I can't imagine when there's so much pain, that your response is, oh, well, we'll leave it to God. I think God expects us to do. He can help. He can improve situations. But we don't just lay down and be like, oh, well, God wants me to get up. I'll levitate into the bathroom and, or if God wants it to happen, they'll be driving down the road and suddenly take a wild hair to turn and go back and come to my house, or, whatever. I'm sure he could do that if he chose to do that, but I don't know that he would ever choose to do that, because if he's forcing someone to do something against their will, is it really free will anymore? You know what I mean? So we'll pray about it, and then do nothing, and just sit there and let people simmer. I mean, those thoughts that just keep, they must not care because they haven't bothered to, reach out. They're just sitting over there waiting for God to make something magically happen. I'm sorry. I don't think I don't think we need to leave it all up to him. Otherwise, why would you go out and preach the gospel? Why would you go out, and try to make disciples of the world? Let God figure it out. Let God take care of it. I'll just pray about it. That's not work. That's not going to do it. That's not the way it's going to work. If you've hurt somebody, you do everything you possibly can to make it right. And if it doesn't seem to be working out, you pray about it. And you pray about it. And you pray about it. And you keep on trying. And I'll keep on trying to make things right. But if the response is, we'll just have to leave it up to God. I'm over half a century old. I mean, I don't know how much time I've got. I'm in a hurry. I gotta want things settled. I want things to be good. But it's taken so long to even get to this point that I just don't think things will be good ever again. And it hurts. It bothers me. It's just quite distressing. Quite distressing, I will tell you. But just leave it all to God. I think he expects us to do a little something for ourselves. I think he expects us to, get off our butts and do something rather than just cry and whine and expect him to do it for us. Anyway.